exact location, but I doubted he'd been able to climb out of the river that quickly. Counting my blessings I hadn't accidentally killed a person, I slipped down a side street and hurried to the nearest tube station. I wasn't about to hang around and wait for Caden to turn that anger on me. Or worse, wait for the authorities to catch up with me. After a lifetime in foster care, I had several issues with the man, plus an inconvenient inability to tell lies. What a bust. I'd developed a new freaky skill, almost killed a dude, and had zero sex. Plus, I had to get up for my shitty pre-dawn cleaning job in a couple of hours. Maybe I'd try my luck in a club in the city tomorrow. It looked like I'd be getting myself off tonight.
Bryn. I made my way through the winding forest path to Master Guinera's treehouse cabin. Now I was in my third year at the Academy of Avalon. The Dean had been entrusting me with more and more tracking missions to collect new students. Master Guinera had been gifted guardian magic by the gods that helped her identify young Fae in need of the Academy's guidance. I had gods' gifted tracking magic that led us right to them. Bryn, come in. Morph, one of Master Guinera's mates, ushered me into the small reception room at the front of the treehouse. The cabin was more luxurious than most at the Academy, but it was fitting, since Guinera was one of the most revered Faes in Avalon. She also needed the space for her 3 mates. She was immensely powerful to have more than 2. I sat on the couch while I waited for Guinera to arrive. The large tapestry of the gods that dominated one wall drew my attention. I didn't know why Guinera still bothered displaying it. The gods had forsaken the Fae. Many Fae were now lucky to have any magic at all. They were practically human. They had granted me an exceptional gift with both a fire affinity and tracking magic. "Ah, Bryn, I am glad you are here," Guinera said, as she glided into the room and sat in the armchair opposite me. She was powerful, 400 years old, and there were few Fae I respected more. "I have a sensitive assignment for you to undertake, and I would like you to go alone." Alone? I had never been on an assignment alone before. Often we were rescuing young Fae from dangerous situations. At 20 years old, I was hardly qualified for solo extraction work. "This is an unusual case. You will collect her from Albion. So far as I can tell, she was raised there. The young woman is not being held against her will or poorly treated. However, it is highly unlikely that she knows that she is Fae. I think you will find that she believed herself to be a human, perhaps until she used a large burst of magic a few hours ago. That is how she came to my attention. I believe she was in danger, but is not in imminent danger now. I had been to Albion, the human realm, before on tracking assignments, still only for runaways. I didn't think there had ever been a Fae raised in Albion as a human. I wasn't entirely sure how it was possible. With all due respect, Master Guinera, I'm not sure I'm the best qualified for explaining the situation to her. Maybe Tesney should accompany me? Tesney and I had worked together on multiple tracking assignments for the Academy. She had a way of keeping the newbie calm while we removed them from their situation and moved them to the Academy. She was also spectacular in bed, and I wouldn't mind the company. Guinera looked at me with an odd glint in her eye I'd never seen before. "I feel strongly that Tesney's presence would be detrimental to this assignment. In fact, I am confident that only you will convince the young woman to accompany you back to Avalon." I wasn't at all confident she was right, but who was I to question a 400-year-old Fae? Guinera closed her eyes and cupped her hands in front of her, drawing forth the girl's magic signature so I could latch onto it and track it to the source. Usually a magical signature appeared as an orb of glowing colour, influenced by the holder's magical ability. The orb that appeared in Guinera's hands was now like nothing I'd ever seen. It almost looked like smoke. It was a beautiful, swirling globe of grey and silver, wispy yet powerful. Guinera gave a quizzical look at the smoky orb in her hands as I ran my hands through it. My tracking magic left a gold, glittery trail behind it, each particle latching onto the magic.